Welcome back. We are here with the Clarke family, and currently in the home is Blake, who is our patriarch, Octavia, who is our heir, Kelsey, who is Octavia's mother, and also Andrea, who is part of their romance club. So, currently, what is going on is Kelsey has just added Cayden, her husband, to the club. So, basically, in the last episode, she kind of introduced him to the club and he wasn't really interested, but they are, she is trying to make him understand her. So she brought him and he wasn't really interested in coming in and he was just kind of like, this is kind of ridiculous. What are you doing? He's a jealous sim. So it is tough for him to understand. And basically, she has now added him to the club and said, why don't you come, like actually come to a meeting, see how it goes, and see if we can kind of rekindle our relationship and get our marriage back. So he comes and she, is really good about paying attention to him at first and really just kind of getting him comfortable. And, here comes Lexie, who is not particularly nice to Kelsey, but she is pretty sought after in the group. So some of the girls are just coming over and, really scoping Cayden out, seeing what's going on and seeing, whether he's actually part of this group. The guys come over. Everyone seems really welcoming and is excited to have a new member in the group. So basically, Cayden is trying to, integrate himself into the group, but only as a way to kind of rekindle his relationship with his wife. And he actually seems like he's having a good time because he just went upstairs with Lexie. So they're up there. And also, Andrea is talking to Alejandro, the pink hair guy, and they are definitely getting closer. She's enjoying his company. And Blake is playing the guitar as per usual. And little Octavia is dancing, but, we're just gonna cheat her because toddlers. Anyway, so Alejandro and Andrea are really having a good time, especially today. And also, Kelsey is, getting Cayden up to speed on what goes on here. And they had a woohoo in the shower and they're just really enjoying themselves. So there's that. And, he isn't really super into the club, but he is into the fact that his wife, wants to be with him when he's here. So he came and he enjoyed himself. So we are still here with Andrea and Alejandro, and they are just, you know, getting really close, like how Kelsey and Andrea are close. They're good friends, they're very romantic, they're girlfriends, and they're just enjoying each other's company. And so it's only natural that some of the club members get closer to each other. And I am trying really hard to get Blake to write some songs because it takes 5 million years to write a song. And that's tough because then he has to go to work and it interrupts and you can't pick up where you left off in the song. So, anyway, that is kind of the problem there. Also, Octavia is running around during all of this, which is not, responsible adult behavior. But we do get our first song here, which is great. He gets in the first song before he goes to work there. And I think that the work problem is fixed. I repaired my game in Origin and then I didn't see any more problems. So that is good. And then Andrea is inviting Alejandro to stay over because they are getting really close. And, she floats the idea to Kelsey, hey, like, I'm getting really close with him. What do you think? What do you think about him? Do you think that maybe we could all, integrate him? It kind of seems like what's happening is that who was that? Oh, okay, that was Andrea and Alejandro. I don't know where Cayden went. I think he might have left. But um, basically, what's happening is a lot of the family members are just, continuing to grow their household. So they're like, hey, Blake has a ton of money, and if we're going to have some kind of like commune or something here in his house. So it's actually kind of potentially weirdly like a cult, but we're going to ignore that. So they are just getting to know each other better, and eventually they ask each other to be boyfriend and girlfriend. So Andrea now has Kelsey and Alejandro as her boyfriend and girlfriend. And Blake has just licensed his first song, so that's really exciting. And we still need to do 3 more songs, so that's rough. He does make plenty of money off of the song he just made, but still he needs to get more. So we are just, becoming more friendly as well with some of the members of the club. It's not all about romance. They want to be close in general. And she is just really, enjoying his company right now. So that is good. And honestly, Kelsey is taking care of Octavia more, and she's really glad that Cayden came to the party, and she's glad that they did get to have some romance because that was really lacking from their relationship in the past. So she is really happy about that. And, she's feeling a little left out because Andrea and Alejandro are getting so close. But she knows that that's just the way that it goes with this kind of club is everybody's with everybody and she can't really be jealous. So we have another club meeting, and as you know, if you've watched some previous of these, Blake really likes Lexie to the point of where sometimes Kelsey gets jealous because Blake is paying more attention to Lexie than anyone else. But she does have Cayden in the group now, and he obviously loves her the most because she's his wife, and that's why he's here. So it is good for them to kind of, be getting to know each other again and rekindling that relationship. And Blake really does like Lexie, despite the fact that she's not a redhead. So anyway, he invites her to move in with them because he's like, well, Kelsey got to choose Andrea to move in with us, so I'm going to ask Lexie to move in with us. And um, so Lexie, of course, readily agrees. She's very happy to do that. And, um, but also Kelsey and Andrea are little jealous. And so I know I keep saying that the Sims are jealous, but they're, all used to that. So Andrea is not jealous per se. She is just kind of, like her and Kelsey think that they worry that Blake will, kind of push them out if he finds that he likes Lexie better. They're worried that they'll kind of lose that meal ticket in a way where, if Blake decides that he wants to just be with Lexie, then the other two are out of luck. So then we have Lexie and um, Cayden having some fun together. And that also kind of riles Kelsey up a little bit because she's a greedy sim and she wants everything for herself, and that includes Cayden and includes Blake and Andrea. So all of this has been really hard on her that everyone is kind of getting these other entanglements, despite the fact that this is what she wanted in the first place, which is the kicker there, is this is what she asked for. So in the meantime, Andrea is seeing how cute little Octavia is, and Octavia's birthday is coming up. Also, what is wrong with Cayden? Does he have that rodent disease? That's what it kind of looked like for a second. And I'm like, oh no, please. I really hope Cayden doesn't die because he is a big portion of this. So, um, basically, Octavia is getting older. It's actually her birthday, which I baked a cake for and then forgot about. So that's in the kitchen there. But Andrea is thinking, like, I kind of want to have a baby. She thinks that it would be fun. She thinks that, they could use another little toddler in the house. So Andrea and Pink Hair have been going at it, but she has not had a ton of luck. So we are going to follow up with that in a moment. But for right now, we are going to have Octavia's birthday. And she is so happy. And she is becoming a child. So we are going to give her the dog lover trait and a social children's aspiration. So there is that. And look how cute she is. I love her little braid. So um, we have Lexie again, coming on to Blake, and everyone is enjoying themselves in the club, and also Lexie is getting a little closer to Octavia just because they're living together, and she may be an evil sim, but she's not you know horrible to children. So because Andrea was having such a problem, I checked Andrea's fertility, and she was only 25% fertile. So what I did was I ended up making it a higher percentage and made everyone super fertile, which, so I don't know how I feel about this portion of the mod because I can't really figure out how to make Sims be as fertile as I want them to. There must be some sort of way to set that percentage myself, but the problem is because, like, and Lexi just took a fertility test right now, and she's only 1% fertile. And no matter what I do, she's not going to have a baby. So that is really tough. That is really tough on her that she can't have a baby either because, Lexi is evil. And it's not that she doesn't like Blake because she does. She likes Blake the most and he has the most to offer. And that's why right now she is going to get a makeover now that she lives with them. All the other girls got a makeover. So Lexi is getting a makeover and she's going to dye her hair red so that that is something that Blake is attracted to. And also, um, she can't have children and she is that's hard for her because she does want something that ties her to Blake. Like Kelsey has Octavia. No matter what, Octavia is her daughter. And so even if her and Blake aren't on good terms, they still have Octavia tying them together. So um, Lexie wanted that. And so that is really hard for her to hear that she is, going to have a lot of trouble conceiving. So there is that. Also, there are way too many names for me to remember right now. This is rough on me, the number of names that I have to remember. So that is what is going on there. And we are just giving her a makeover. And we'll speed through the rest of this makeover because I know you don't care which stylized looks I choose. So here we go with the outerwear, and honestly, I don't even mind her outerwear, her winter wear for that. So we are back in the house, and now all of three of the girls have had makeovers, and actually all three of them are older than Blake. So Andrea herself is going to become an elder in, ooh, I want to say 5 sim days, something like that. So they are all mature women, and I was surprised they were all single because MCCC usually takes care of most of that, but maybe they were spawned when I created the club. So there is that. And now that Lexi lives with them, and I am trying really hard to figure out the pregnancy situation because I did want Andrea to be able to have a baby of her own. And I also, I mean, I wanted Lexi to have one with Blake, but I just don't think that that's possible. I really can't figure out how to do that. So even when I added the settings to like super fertile here, it's still it's still not enough to get Lexi, and I even use the wishing well on her. It's just not. But you know what? That is a problem that women have. A lot of women have infertility problems, and so that is a realistic gameplay, and it is tough for Lexie, and you can't always cheat a baby, so that's kind of where we're at. Actually, we might be able to cheat a baby. That's a good point. We should try MCCC because I've been kind of relying on wonderful whims, but MCCC actually has an option to implant a pregnant. Okay, we're gonna remember to check up on that next time. So, anyway, my whole spiel about real life is potentially over, but I do like that aspect of this. And only at the end of this episode, I do get a sim on their period, and I'm super excited about that because I do want it to be. I want to try this gameplay that I've downloaded. So, also, this was when I was trying to have Lexie have a child with Blake, so I had to empty out his inventory of birth control, but it wasn't working. Also, there's condoms everywhere now. But yeah, so they are all hungry, and also Kelsey is sick of eating ramen noodles out of a cup. So we get her a real meal, and then my game freezes for just the barest of moments, so I save. So save often, kids. Um, and yeah, we have Octavia, who is probably going to be scarred for life by all of this. But I do, like that idea of trying to get Lexie pregnant. So we are going to try that in the next one. That doesn't happen here. We are still working on, we need Blake to get a promotion, so he needs to up his comedy skills. And also, we still want him to write lots of music. So there is that. We still have several songs that he needs to write. And yeah, so we have these three women and Blake and Octavia living in this home. And also, now that we have Lexie here, Lexie kind of comes in and says, like, what is going on in this house? Like, this house is horrible. She's going to quit her job and live off of Blake's money, of course. But she's like, this house is terrible. And I don't want to live in such a horrible, like, not well done place. So, again, she's not fertile. She's 1% fertile, which is basically not fertile. So, um, yeah, I accidentally clicked on making her infertile. But anyway, she's just like, what is going on with this house? Like, it's a mess, and I don't want to live like this because I am living the high life now, and this is what I want. And she's also evil, so she is just happy to do whatever she wants. She's selfish, and you know what? Blake doesn't care, so that's fine. So, she is going to call someone to renovate the house. And our next video will be renovating the house. So that is really exciting. She's like totally done with the mess that is this floor plan. And she wants something cool and streamlined. And also, really someplace that she can be proud of. So when we renovate, we are also not going to change like the outside too much. We're going to actually pretend that we're renovating instead of just bulldozing the lot and starting over. So more in the next one for that. But right now, we are still working on the other Sims, and we just cannot get Lexie pregnant. But we do get Andrea pregnant. I think that was a couple minutes ago. But Andrea is pregnant with Alejandro's baby, and we have given up on trying to get Lexie pregnant, and we do not want to pay child support. So we are taking back all of this. So actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but Kelsey is paying child support, and it's expensive. So, you know, we don't want to have any more of that. I mean, half the bills are child support right now. So, anyway, we have everyone having a good time. I mean, Kelsey really thinks that things are looking up with Blake in the house. And they're all really, you know, thinking that things are starting to fall into place. So there is that, and I'm just buying a few more perks for them just because we have plenty of points and it's fun. So they can all wear leather jackets. Also, Blake's sister Hope wants to come over. She is one of the twins, and we have just started a group gathering. So I am like, you know, I don't know how I feel about his little sister showing up at the same moment that all this is happening, but Octavia's in the house too, so I guess we're not really worried about the youth here. I mean, I'd be more worried that someone would come on to Hope. Like, we're not worried about Octavia because she's a child, but Hope is a teenager, and I do have relationships between adults and teenagers turned on through MCCC. So that is a risk that we are taking. And so I just send Andrea to go say hello to her because Blake is writing a song and I don't want to interrupt him because, as you know, it takes forever. So she is just saying hello to Hope, like, hey, I live in your brother's house. It's not weird, I promise. And Kelsey and Cayden are, getting flirty with each other and they're really improving their relationship. And Kelsey's like, oh, this is exactly what we needed. I'm so glad that I thought of this. I'm so glad that I did this. And they're feeling pretty good and she's thinking about the ways that this is going to be good for them. And also for Marissa, their daughter, who she hasn't seen in a really long time because Cayden thinks that she's, a bad influence right now. And he is honestly turning into the same influence as her, whether or not that's good or bad. But, um, he's trying to, understand this group and understand what's going on and get his marriage back. And he is really jealous Sims. So despite the fact that he is delighted by, everyone who is interested in him, he is still kind of jealous that his wife is, woohooing with other Sims. So that is a hard thing for him. I am now giving the birth control to Lexie. To Lexie. Wow. You know what? There are just way too many names for me to remember here. But we're giving that to Lexie, although she doesn't need it because I was thinking about maybe having Kelsey and Cayden have another child together. Or, ooh, more interestingly, it could be a like who's the father situation because, there's a lot of Sims here. So we'll see about that. But right now, we just can't do it with the fertility thing, so I am going to set it back to medium, which is what the default was. So there is that, and everyone is, having a good time. So that is pretty much it for this. We are going to skip ahead to when Kelsey gets her period. So we're super excited about that. So she was feeling a little dizzy, and then when she actually got it, it's now complaining that she's not wearing any, menstrual products. So we are going to have her use one, and there is an auto use setting on this as well. So that's really handy, is that all of these products have auto use, which is really great because I'd forget to do all that. You can also turn off auto use if you want to be responsible for that as well. So that is pretty much it for this episode. In the next one, we are going to renovate the house. So that'll be the entirety of that. So it will be a speed build video. And then we will move on to what happens next with all of these people. So I will catch you guys in the next one.